The boy had just stepped into the room, when several darts suddenly shot toward him. Lupin easily dodged the darts, but before he could steady himself, an iron ball came flying at his face. Relying on his agility, Lupin narrowly avoided the iron ball. Then, using a candlestick, he successfully made his way to the grandfather. It turned out that not long ago, the grandfather had contracted a rare heart disease. He intended to leave his fortune to the most skilled thief. So, he carefully selected 4 candidates. Once all 4 had gathered, the grandfather presented them with a contract. If they could successfully pass all the trials, they would inherit his wealth. After everyone signed the contract, they arrived in front of a tower. However, the door to enter the tower was merely painted on. Just as they were searching for a way in, a chess piece caught Lupin's attention. As he straightened the piece, the next moment, Lupin fell into a trap and successfully entered the tower. Now, Lupin found himself surrounded by deadly traps everywhere, but Lupin showed no fear. Relying on his top-tier evasion skills, he made it through the mechanisms unscathed and smoothly reached the next level. Another girl had already arrived there and successfully discovered the correct exit. Lupin tossed a piece of candy to test the area. The next moment, a laser gun appeared, and the candy instantly vanished. The girl threw a rug into the air, and with a loud explosion, the infrared lasers in the room became visible. Faced with countless laser beams, Lupin cautiously lay flat on the ground. As the code locks were cracked one by one, the large door slowly opened. But just as Lupin stood up, he accidentally triggered an infrared sensor, and lasers instantly shot toward him. At this critical moment, the girl suddenly pushed Lupin down, saving him just in time. Soon, the two reached the next level. A random roulette wheel appeared. Whatever it landed on, they could take. After the items dropped, a nearby wall slid open. Seeing all 4 candidates gathered, the grandfather congratulated them on passing the test. He explained that all they needed to do now was use a key to open the final door, and they would obtain the immense fortune. At this point, the 4 grew suspicious of each other. No one knew who had the key, but just then, a gunshot rang out. As Lupin stood in shock, a brick came flying at him. He caught it, but another brick slammed hard into his face. Losing his balance, Lupin fell heavily to the ground. Then, someone sat on top of him. It turned out that Hun was the one who had gotten the gun. He took Lupin's key, laughing triumphantly as he climbed the stairs. Just as everyone thought Hun was the winner, he found that he couldn't open the door. It turned out Lupin had never drawn the key. Instead, he had gotten a dagger. Just as Hun was about to fire, the next moment, countless spikes shot out. Hun never expected that he had been completely outsmarted by Lupin. The key was actually with the boy, who had also survived thanks to a bulletproof vest. Then, the staircase slowly opened, and 3 doctors suddenly appeared to rescue the severely injured Hun. It turned out the grandfather's real plan was to steal a heart to save his own life. And that inheritance contract? It was actually an organ donation agreement. But what the grandfather never expected was that Lupin had already sensed something wrong with the contract. Using special ink, Lupin had outwitted the grandfather in the end.